Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all doing well, and kia ora all the way here from New Zealand. Before I say anything else, I just want to take a small breath with you because I'm sharing with you today isn't really a reading of the tarot as such, but I'm going to use the tarot to give us a little message as well. It is just something real that happened to me last week, and I did say that I would actually do a reading on it, but I just had to sit with it for a while. So let's just go into this dream. And in this dream that I had, it stayed with me even after I woke up. And instead of just brushing it off, it felt like it was something. It was meant to speak out and in a loud way, because it carries some feelings. And I know some of these feelings many of us are living with right now. I'm going to try and talk in code and certain things because it was quite a vivid, upsetting dream. But in this dream, I was in my late parents' home that I inherited, and even though I'm not living in it, it is still back in South Africa. And my mom and my dad were very clearly there, and I very seldom dream of them. And if I do, it is either one or the other, not both of them. And then added into the mix, my partner was there, including my little fluff bucket dog, which has never been to that house. But yet it felt familiar, it felt safe, and there were memories there. My little dog started barking ferociously in this dream. And when I was looking for him, I tried finding him, and eventually I found him in the garage, which is downstairs. And there's no ways that he could get down there because there's an interleading door and there is a very steep spiral staircase that goes into the garage. And there's no ways that he could get in there. And when I got to the bottom where he was barking, I saw something lurking in the dark in a corner. And at first, as my eyes were adjusting to the dark, I couldn't figure it out. But then I suddenly realized it was this lion, a big, massive male lion in the shadows, growling and watching us. I tried calling out to my mom and my dad and my partner. First of all, sound didn't come out, but then it started coming out. But as I was screaming, nobody was answering me. And there was no response. It was like I was screaming in a forest where there was nobody that could hear me. Then something in me said, just pick the dog up and get out of there as quietly and as quickly as possible. I managed to get out up the stairs, went to the top, ran into my dad's bedroom. I told him about this. My mom came out of the kitchen. My partner was sitting in the lounge. And all my dad did is he went up to the door and threw some food down the stairs towards the lion. And I was absolutely bewildered. I was beside myself. Like, don't you see what is down there? Don't you see that there's danger down there? And with that, the lion was gone. I then moved back to the lounge and something caught my attention, and I went to the windows and I looked outside to the bottom and I saw movement and activity, and there was just lots and lots of water and water and water. And suddenly in this water there was a floating body. It was broken. It was full of not ketchup, but ketchup. It looked like ketchup, but it wasn't ketchup. And it was just floating there. I started screaming again for help. And from areas where people don't have access to the property, people were coming from all directions. And some people wanted to touch this object in the water. And other people told him not to touch it. And it just got very confusing. And then all through it, at the window, my mom and my dad and my partner were standing there, and my little dog was barking absolutely crazy. And we were just like watching it. It was just so surreal. And then when I felt I couldn't breathe anymore, I suddenly just woke up out of this dream. And it really upset me so much. And I was starting to process it. And I remember saying to myself, calming myself down, taking a breath, and I'm just saying, it was only a dream. It was only a dream. Calm down. And yet, it didn't feel like a dream. And I've been sitting with this, and I'm sharing it because I don't believe dreams just arrive in isolation. They often form out of, I would almost want to call it emotional weathering, or the emotional weather and the emotional tides that we are living in. And right now, there's a lot of emotional weather in the world. There's uncertainty, instability, grief, anger, fear, confusion. There's a sense that something that was always familiar has shifted, as it's intruded into our safe spaces where we're supposed to feel safe around the people that we're supposed to feel safe. And the line reminded me of the fact that there might be something very powerful sitting in the background of our lives. And this dream felt like that. Not just my personal emotions, but the collective atmosphere. And inside it, the very human longing to feel protected, supported, answered, and held. And I just want to say to everybody here, very quietly, very gently, and very clearly, I also feel things. I also get overwhelmed. I also have moments where I want to call out and have someone make sense of what's happening. And this path doesn't remove emotion. It teaches you how to sit with it, how to listen to it, how to let it move without, I almost want to say, drowning in it, because it does feel like we're drowning in so much emotion at the moment. And if you are feeling anxious lately or unsettled and heavier, just know it's not unusual. There's nothing wrong with you. These are normal responses to abnormal times. And when it doesn't feel like it, most of us are not standing alone as we think we are. There are people we can lean on. There are conversations that we can have openly. And there are support we can reach for. And sometimes the first form of support is simply being witnessed, being noticed. And rather than leaving this as only a story, I'm just going to do a quick, gentle 6-card spread and see what the cards might have to tell us here. And it's not going to predict anything, but just to listen to what they say, to see what the dream is responding to and what kind of support it's pointing towards. And then I might also look at the Angel Therapy Oracle. I'm just going to leave it one side and see if they want to talk to me. But they jumped out at me this morning. And so, if you like, just take a slow breath with me. And we'll have a look what's moving underneath us. What have you guys got to tell me, cards? What have you guys got to tell me? What have you guys got to tell me? Let's have a look here. Let's have a look. Let's cut. Let's have a look. 6 of Cups. Memory, family. 9 of Wands. I can see that. King of Wands, the father energy. Okay, let's unpack these first and then move from them. The 6 of Cups, as we all know, speaks of memory, emotional history, and that the past is still breathing within the present. And this actually fits very clearly for me with the house, my parents, the familiar emotional landscape. And I think what it's telling me and what it's telling you as well is that this dream is rising from memories lived memories, from bonds that don't just disappear, because time does move forward, but those memories still stay with you. Memories don't just walk away from you, they stay with you. Nine of Wands. It's the wear and the tear. It isn't the panic. It is putting up boundaries. It is those long moments of holding on to, being braced, and yet being alert. Look at him, how he's looking over his shoulder. And this card, I want to say, is almost like when systems have been strong for a long time, because all these ones, these barriers have been put up, but you are quietly tired. You are mentally exhausted with everything that is going on in life, in the headlines, in politics, and everything. We are weary. The King of Wands, fire energy, and also father figure energy here. And I almost want to say that this almost got a lion energy. If you have a look there, the lions in the background, a lion energy to it. It almost wants to reflect me almost like a strength card. And it is looking towards something. It is looking for strength. It is looking for, how can I make things safe, almost? How are we going to walk through the fire like the salamander does? But I almost want to say, this card can also be read in reverse. in this energy that I'm sitting in. And if we look at it in reverse, it is almost like a unstable power, unpredictable forces, and authority that feels unsafe or out of reach. And it's not like there is a singular thing that is feeling threatened or volatile. It is a collective feeling. And we want to look for something that is stable. We want to look forward. We want to see growth. We want to get out of this fire. We want to be strong. The next card. Why again? Judgment. Judgment again. Why does judgment always come up? And Queen of Pentacles. I can't make this up. Can't make it up. Judgment. How am I going to see judgment in this line? Second chances. It's a card of continuity. It's a living conversation with the past. In this setting, it doesn't speak for me as a rescue. It is talking almost like I was saying, we were witnessing that floating entity in the water. It is like witnessing something that is being told to us. And we are still human in a story. And because you can see here, they are still human. They are not entities. And we are sort of almost like not outside of it. I don't know why I want to say that. It's almost like standing in a human story and being part of it and not being outside of it. That's what I want to say. Here we've got our lovely Five of Pentacles. And as we know, it's the mother, it's part of the mother figures. It's not the Empress, but it is grounding, emotional safety, grounded care. She's protecting what is valuable and vulnerable. Not that gold is vulnerable, but she's protecting. If she does lose it, it will cause vulnerability. Look at the bunny rabbit. Bunny rabbits are vulnerable little creatures. It is an instinct to gather in and to steady and to nurture and to tend. If you have a look here, little child there is being protected as well. It's being protected. Look at the angels and the cherubs looking down gently. And it's almost like we feel that we just want to build our own little island, our own little piece of safety in a world that is unsteady. We just want to sit firmly and steady on this little bench. And what is the last card here? Three of Cups. There were three people in my dream. Okay, excluding my little dog, which I also see as a people, but in any case, there were three human beings in this. And it almost feels like all three of us were sharing the same experience, even though one of the experiences was a little bit detached because the line wasn't seen by all, only by me. And my little dog was warning me about it. But the other event was witnessed by Sri and myself. And it is almost telling me that we just need to remember that we don't have to carry things alone. We don't have to process things in isolation. And it doesn't always, and this card reminds me that it doesn't that being supported and supporting doesn't remove what is actually happening, but it changes how the nervous system holds it. Because things are still happening. But remember, if we laugh, if we're happy, if we've got family and support around us, we forget about the troubles. We feel like we're in our little island. We can forget about the worries for a moment. We can look towards the future because we know friends and family are there and they are not just going to walk away from us. And when I look at this, I don't see fear in these tarot cards. I see sensitive systems. I see remembering hearts. I see human responses in a very complex world. And we are not meant to carry everything by ourselves. We're not to be carrying everything by ourselves. And let's have a look what the underlying energy is. Yes. We are not feeling victorious at the moment. We are feeling that everything that we are working towards and working for is not leading to victory. We still feel embattled. And it's not just us, it's other people that feel embattled as well. And let's just have a look here. This card wanted to pop out. The Sun. The happiest card. Because we know that when we are with family and friends, we've got happiness around us. We've got joy. It's telling me, get out into the sun. Forget about, it almost wants to say, forget about all the red flags out there. Because we've got a feather, I don't know if you've ever noticed that. We've got a little feather in our cap. The sun is shining light through all the darkness that is sitting around us at the moment. And Angel Therapy has definitely asked me to just get one or two cards. Let's see how it goes. So 1 or 2 cards. Third eye chakra. It is safe for you to see the energy of love in all of its forms, such as angels, auras, and visions. And underlying, I've got chills running from the top of my head down to my toes. What was this reading about? Who was featuring in the dream? Sure. The divine truth is that your parents eternally love you to the best of their ability. The angels are helping you heal from any pain associated with your mother and father. Now I know why this deck wanted to come out. The cards were listening. And thank you for listening to my waffles. I really appreciate it. I love you all. Please like, share, and do share this with somebody that you think might need to hear this message. Because a lot of us do. Know that family is still there with you, even if they are not with us, even if they have moved on. Take a moment and celebrate, because the sun will come out tomorrow and shine a light on anything that was dark in your life. I love you all. Thank you very much. Speak to you soon.